What's up? It's Miss Feminine, and I just wanted to come in real quickly and talk a little bit about my song Break Free that I just released. And I'm so happy that I finally let it go out of my catalog of songs. And yeah, it's just really cool. So I originally wrote that song in 2019 and did some practice recordings for it and everything, and I just recently played them again. I didn't even know that I had these recordings, so it was really cool to just check in with myself and my vocal progression and seeing the contrast of where I was then vocally and where I'm at now vocally. But I really honor myself in that time frame for writing the song Break Free and creating it and pulling from my life experiences at that time that even, birthed the opportunity in this space for a song like that to come out. So it's really precious to me, and I just really love the journey that a songwriter goes through, or any singer or rapper and artist that is expressing themselves and pulling from their life in order to make the art that they make. So anyways, 2019, I was like 19 or 20 years old, and it was really like right before my life took a quick little turn in direction. So it was a rough patch for sure. It was like a little rough moment before some interesting changes would occur. And I was really in a space where I felt like I needed to leave a particular environment that I was in. And I feel like it's a common theme for me to always find and create safe spaces, and just honestly a space where you can just be at peace and relax, and I mean relax like your nervous system. And especially as an artist, we're usually very sensitive people and would prefer to be in a certain wavelength or an energy within ourselves to create art, but sometimes that's not always the case, and you have to really push yourself in the midst of uncomfortability to really get your art out. And honestly, in those times, you really can create very potent work and very potent messages, because you are like going through things that are pushing you and crushing you and transforming you enough to where you can even have something to say, something important to say, and something very beautiful and special to sing or rap about or create poetry or a painting or whatever it may be. So at that time, I was really in that space within myself deeply, to where that's just what my soul had to say at the moment. Like, it's time to break free, like from levels of anxiety, just being unsure, being non-expressive, programs that have, I won't say made me that way, but just experiences that created programs subconsciously for me to not express myself the way that I really wanted to, or not show up as who I really am, or to be in spaces where you're not fully honored and appreciated as the person that you are and for the art that you create. So that really just came out of me in that way artistically. So that's why, like, in the beginning of the song, I said I was once so afraid to say what I wanted to say, but now there comes a cost to not be who I truly am. And I feel like that is such a powerful line, because it's like, what did that girl go through? And it's crazy because after I wrote that song, I really went through even more tests. I went through even more challenges that were like targeting and testing my throat chakra and just my ability to speak as I please, speak as I want, and express myself. And yeah, so it's amazing. Like, I created opportunities to shift my reality, but things were still popping up in ways where they were going to test and challenge that new muscle of, speaking up for yourself and everything. And there does come a point in your artistical path where you recognize that there is a huge risk, an even bigger risk, of not expressing yourself sometimes, opposed to saying what you gotta say, and boohoo, somebody doesn't like it or doesn't resonate or doesn't like you or your delivery of your message. And it's really, really important to be who you are and to do it, because really the cost for me at the time that I was feeling of like, why I would even say something like that in a song was like my integrity, my dignity, my self-esteem, the way that I value myself. And I just simply noticed in that moment where, and time as well, time flies and time does not wait for anybody. And that is one of the biggest costs that you can pay for not expressing yourself. And even something I'm still dealing with, like allowing too much time to go by, for you to say what you need to say, or sing out what you need to sing out, or rap out what you need to rap out. So yeah, that is a cost. If your life were to be over tomorrow, did you do everything that you needed to do? And I was just feeling that pressure, and I think it's supposedly it's very normal for young people 18 to like 27, 28, to have a huge pressure over them to really like have their life fully together and have it all figured out. And it's a huge thing with the nervous system and everything. So that was just really, really in me, really heavy at 20. Like, oh my goodness, like the pressure was so real. It was so real, and it still feels that way. And there's another line where I'm saying like, beam me up to the blue star and be me. Maybe they want to be me, that's why they choose to hate me. But I don't live for you or your delusional games. Our visions are not painted the same. I know that in which I came from. And basically, like what I was saying was coming from an experience of people showing a strong dislike for you when you are being authentic to yourself. You know who you are, where you came from spiritually, and I was just speaking a level of like from source, like I know my connection to the higher power, and that's what strengthens me artistically. And that is what was fueling me artistically. And as I was going through identity shifts in my life, it was God moving through me. And so that's kind of where that came from. Like that's where that was sourced from. Like they hit on you because they really want to be you. They see your light. And many times you can experience projections from people when you are in such an artistic space and you're just doing your thing, and also in your spiritual journey as well. Many times an artist can feel targeted or attacked, or in a space where you feel like somebody's trying to make you a victim to their projections. And it's very common to experience that, to overcome those things, and you just recognize, well, maybe there's some jealousy or some envy on their part. And it's okay, you just gotta recognize that and then move on. and I'm like, okay, I'm moving on so high. I'm like, beam me up to the blue star, like, and the blue star to me just represents like an outer space, extraterrestrial form or realm. I'm like, I'm going so high away from this BS, like I'm gone, like I'm going to higher levels within myself. I don't have time to deal with this basic human crap. So that's what I meant by that a little bit, and just with source as well. And then as an artist, we literally live outside of the box, to think differently, to be different, to be abstract and complex and confusing and just colorful and multidimensional. So whatever, vision that you have is yours, and whatever other people's expectations are of you is their own. It's not yours to adopt and to embody. And this especially applies to artists like singers and rappers, musicians in the music industry. You don't have to mold yourself to fit perfectly into this identity of what that is or what it should be, and how that can be forced on you by labels and contracts and, just entities really in businesses. It's businesses and marketing and algorithms and AI. It's so many things that are adding to the equation of that, trying to paint this picture of you in a marketable, consumable way. And you don't have to be that. You can be what you want to be. Not saying you can't be marketable or, reach a larger audience. And no, I'm not saying that. Be a brand, but just make sure that you are being authentic to yourself. And that's really the message that was coming through for me with that song. So yeah, I just wanted to share that really quickly, and I hope if whoever is listening to this, if you've played my song and you liked it, you enjoyed it, I just wanted to share a little bit of a backstory to it, of where I was at the time that I wrote it, and just life. And it's always beautiful to reflect on these things and see like how much I've grown artistically. And I'm so grateful that it was on my heart to really take the time to record it. As far as the recording process, I definitely, of course, wish that it could be in better quality, but in my personal journey, I'm in a space where I'm being forced to not care about that and just get it out, like get the art out, and simply just accept where I am right now with that sonically. And things can and will improve over time, but I appreciate and respect my effort and the time and dedication that I put into my art. And even I'm learning a new skill of how to mix and master, which is something I've always wanted to do, and I'm trying, okay? So for that alone, I'm clapping for myself, and I'm excited to keep working on that skill as well as an artist, and really just keep going up from there. And keep developing and progressing. And that's all that we really can do, is just keep going.